It's 7:40. Let's do this. Good evening, Hampton Roads. Good evening, Northeast North Carolina. My name is David Aldrich, Chief Meteorologist of WTKR News 3 Television. So weather doesn't surprise you, you're watching First Warning Live. Sponsored by Marco's Pizza. What's this? More rain and wind on the way? Glad I knew about that, saw that coming, because I watched you yesterday, the day before. We've got more rain tonight, we've got more rain tomorrow. And just so you know, it feels maybe a little, I don't know, upsy-downsy, maybe it's topsy-turvy, maybe it's wishy-washy. I don't know, how would you describe this weather pattern? A little nitty-gritty. I mean, we've got it all, but we're going to add some rain and wind into the forecast. I got to show you this. This is kind of interesting to me because I'm just one of these weather nerds that will go the extra mile. What am I talking about? Look at the actual high temperature today. If I get my map to move, I think it'll move eventually. There it is. 80 degrees today. Now, if you've been keeping track, we've been at 79 for 4 days in a row. We had the potential to hit it 5 days in a row. The record high 100 from 1977. So I did the research, thanks in part to the great part to the National Weather Service in Wakefield. So when you look at 80, 79, 79, 70, I'm like, that's kind of unusual. I'm not so worried about the number 79, but the fact that we could do it 4 days in a row. Do you think that's unusual? I did some homework. This is what I did for you. Ready? I want to take this full screen. Norfolk highs in a row since 1874. You got to go back to Ulysses S. Grant. You're going, that long? Is this something that happens very commonly? No, who's going to tell you this except me? Because this is what I wanted you to find out. I mean, I can tell you 79 days, we've done it 4 days in a row. What's interesting to note is that, well, only 12 times in 150 years have we done this. This is the 12th time. So you go back from Ulysses S. Grant to the present, we've only had 4 days plus in a row of any number, any temperature high, 12 times. That's it. And it ends, well, yesterday, 8/5/2025. But we have hit it 5 times in a row when it was 90 back in 1984, and we did 91 5 days in a row in 2021. So if you look at these dates, this goes back to Ronald Reagan and I guess Joe Biden's era of 2021. So it doesn't happen often, but we have done it 5 days in a row. Maybe you find that interesting. I find that interesting. I spent the time to do the research, and thanks to our friends at all the folks at the National Weather Service because they kind of pointed me in the right direction. I appreciate that. If you're on the call, I want to say hi to you. I got a note from Taj. Is Taj here? He says, hey, let's go. Hey, I'm with you, my friend. We got to go, and we got to go talk a little bit about my cool sponsor because we're trying to give away some pizza. We're doing that tomorrow. By the way, there's 5 participating contest locations. You can find a Marco's virtually anywhere in the area in Hampton Roads, Tidewater. But one of the things we're going to be adding soon, or they will be, is another location near Great Bridge Middle School. Across the street on South Battlefield Boulevard, a new location will be coming most likely next month. But Virginia Beach, Princess Anne, Independence Boulevard, 3 in Virginia Beach, 1 in Chesapeake, 1 in Norfolk. And if you want to get free pizza, it's not too late. WTKR.com/Marcos. All you have to do is register. Takes 1 to 2 minutes, not even that. We just need to know how to reach you so we can send you the certificate. Is that cool? I think it's a sweet deal. And what's even cooler is the fact that there's a deal of the week. I participated in this today. I got myself a small 1 topping. I got a pepperoni and a 20-ounce drink for just $7.99. Now, I tend to, I probably need to move away from it. I need to move away from, maybe through the drive-thru, but you're going to spend probably $10, $12, $15 if you're realistic when you go through a drive-thru. So you could save some money if you simply use the WTKR.com, WTKR lunch promo code if you go to Marcos.com. So perhaps you want a pizza bowl, maybe you want a Pozzoli, maybe you want a salad or a 6-inch sub. All of these options are good through Saturday because how do I know? It says it's deal of the week. That's the key there, is of the week. I want to show you this too as we go right into the next BAP here. Generally what we're talking about as I clear off my telestrator, the issue that we're going to be giving away is with this cool certificate. It's not an issue, it's something very exciting because if you get one you can cross off August, September. We're giving away 1 large, 1 topping pizza for free for a month. You get 12 months and it's a punch card. That's pretty sweet. So that's up for bid tomorrow. We're going to be giving away that. Plus, you might decide you want a Pozzoli or a Magnifico tonight. We're also giving away 10 free pizzas, individual pizzas, I believe, tomorrow as well, like we've done. But I want to thank Marcos for being a great sponsor to satisfy your appetite. Go to our website, WTKR.com/Marcos, and you may be the winner. And maybe if you don't win the certificate for a year, you could win a free pie. I think that's pretty good. That's just me. Now, you said, Aldrich, this was topsy-turvy. Let's go back last month. Wasn't that long ago, it was 6 days ago. Last month, July, we had 106 for it feels like, 110, 106. It was hot, so hot though that some people were like waving a white flag, saying, I'm done with summer, I don't want to look back anymore, can we please move on? But that's the contrast from July to August. I mean, it has been literally topsy-turvy. I'm kind of curious to know what you're seeing, what you're feeling. Let me magnify your voice because I know that you have some things you'd like to comment. Maybe you're excited about the fact that tomorrow is Thursday. I got a note from Taj Brown. I got some other people on the call, but I'd love to say hi to you. I will do my best, but I'm going to keep moving it. Temperature right now is 76 in Hampton. 76 in Virginia Beach. We're pretty consistent with where we were this time yesterday. Looking at Moyock at 77, that's a degree warmer than it was this time last night. And it's 5 degrees colder right now in Wakefield because they got so much rain. Did I mention the rain? We got flood watches still in effect until 8 o'clock in the morning on Thursday. That is a lot of rain. They've had anywhere from 1 to 3. They could get another 1 to 3 in the overnight period. So that's why these areas in green are most concerning. If we look at the radar, some of these showers are streaming up from Williamsburg up toward Gloucester, York County up toward Matthews County into areas north of Exmoor from Accomack County, all the way down toward areas in North Carolina where it really has not been that heavy along the Outer Banks today. Rodanthe, Duck, Nags Head, maybe have had a few showers, but not as much. Here's the current conditions right now. It looks like it's raining, last report, in Wakefield, Ahoskie, and Jackson, North Carolina, just to name a few, while others are just reporting more clouds. So it's interesting to see what we have in time. Taj Brown says, we're grateful for the cooler temperatures and humidity. I appreciate that, Taj. I do too. I'm one of these people that I like all 4 seasons. But give me an opportunity to get out of a heat wave, I'll take it. I know that some of us were kind of really taxed down, or at least we're feeling like we were being worn down by the onslaught of the heat and humidity of last July. But at least now that's in the rearview mirror. We can at least look forward to some better weather, at least cooler weather. We've had that now for the last couple of days. He's right in here. Let me fly in here and say, he's grateful for the cooler temperatures and humidity. I second that motion for sure. All right, so we're looking at these temperatures here. So Taj, hang with me. It's interesting to note all this rain you see here, some of these green dots aren't even reaching the ground. Some of them are evaporating before reaching the ground, and so that evaporation process is happening at the mid-levels. Doesn't mean we won't see some rain in Virginia Beach or Norfolk. I think we will eventually. There is a baseball game at Harbor Park going on right now as I speak. But these are the things we watch and keep an eye on too, because we're going to have another round of rain tomorrow. Some of this could become particularly heavy in the overnight, and I'll show you what that looks like in the Futurecast here in just mere moments. So hang in there with me. I got a note from Kim. She is she is letting me know she thought today was beautiful. I can't disagree with that. Some would say I would prefer to have more sunshine. I would prefer to have fewer clouds. Some people may have said that, but I like the eye of the beholder, right? It's how you view it, and I think she's probably, compared to where we were in July, I'll take a cool day like this. A high of 80. We're not even counting how many 90-degree days have we had in August. We barely have 2 80-degree days in August. That's the topsy-turvy weather that we've been dealing with, no doubt. All right, so here's where we stand. As I clear off the telestrator, you can see that there's a little trough now across southeastern North Carolina, and some of these areas are going to continue to move northward. So the opportunity for rain will only increase later tonight and into the day tomorrow. Beach forecast, it's on the screen. Surf height 3 to 6 feet. Rip current risk is high, and low tide tomorrow will be at 12:42, and that's usually an hour before, hour after, that you really want to pay attention to rip currents. When they occur, the cycle or the intensity of those current rip currents could be present. Water temperature is now in the mid-70s, but it's going to be windy, and if you happen to be caught in a rip current, we've talked about this many times before, we talked about it yesterday, but we keep losing people. And I don't mean like losing people like, well, they lost their way. No, we lose people, and this is not something that I find acceptable, and you probably don't either if you think about it. You got to learn how to swim parallel to the shore, but try not to fight it. If you have to float, get on your back, just let it take you out, and then just kind of, and then start swimming parallel. And if you can't do that, you need to be waving for help, so that the lifeguard can come assist you. Maybe a neighbor, maybe it's a buddy swim, right? I'm going to swim so that I'm in eye distance from where my buddy is, brother, sister, cousin, whatever, so that we take care of ourselves and take care of our neighbors. Because we're all we got. right? I don't know what neighborhood you belong to, but your neighborhood, that's all you got, and we got to take care of each other. That's my view. I don't know if you share that view, but we really are going to have to do that if and when we ever get something truly tropical, like a tropical storm or hurricane. It's going to be like rip currents on steroids. It's going to be a bigger deal where we have to look out and help one another. Tropical Storm Dexter, clearly on the screen and moving away. He never was a hurricane, but we can cross him off the list. We have essentially, but he's got winds of 50 and he's gusting to 65. This is the latest update now. Looks like it's now down to 30% moving away. We're really not going to be too worried about this particular. It was 40%, but the Hurricane Center has downgraded to 30, and there's a 60% chance we get Erin, E-R-I-N, Erin, in this area of the Atlantic as this wave has come off of Africa and will likely intensify. So if you look at this wave, spaghetti plots, a couple of them have come in. Two of them kind of want to curve back out to sea. One may move it closer toward Cuba or the Bahamas or the Caribbean. It's way, way too early to tell, but we will keep an eye on that. So we've got Erin, we've got Ferdinand, and we've got Gabrielle as potential names on the list for this year. I got another note from Marilyn. I believe Marilyn is in here. Can I say hi to Marilyn? She's on here. She's in East Tennessee, and she's saying 78 degrees right now here in White Pine, Tennessee, and she says winds from the north from the rain passing through. Yeah, I'm expecting winds here at least 10 to 25 tomorrow, Maryland, as some of that energy might be working its way here, but we're getting it more from the south than we are from the west because you're in Knoxville and East Tennessee and White Pine. I think we're probably going to see those winds kick in with the winds rotating around that low. So thank you for that update. I always appreciate your input because I have a lot of folks who still watch me from East Tennessee, and I'm very grateful that you all are here. So let's go back to we were looking at the names. Maybe your name is on the list. Maybe you got a family member whose name is, I don't know, Jerry. That's my dad's name. My dad's like waiting for his storm. You know, I don't know if you've got someone in your family named Gabrielle or Melissa. We didn't quite get to Tony last year, and we now have a new member of our weather team named Tony. I think he felt cheated, but I don't want to speak for him. He'll have to wait another year, another 6 years before his name reappears on that list, if I'm not mistaken. Rain and storms to end the week. This low is trying to move like so. So as it moves out to sea, it may bring back or throw back, because winds are rotating counterclockwise around that low. So it's throwing in more of an east-northeasterly wind for us. So we're going to have to deal with that tomorrow. Some of us will say, hey, it's pretty windy. That's going to be the reason, because the low is going to be heading out to sea. The Atlantic storm timeline, we've covered this before. We have a lot of hurricane season left. So if these storms keep multiplying like rabbits, if they keep populating like rabbits, I would urge you to say that don't be surprised. Don't be surprised if this continues to happen. And some people, invariably, every year, some people are like, this is unusual. I don't ever remember. It's because of this graph. It's because of this map. It usually spikes around the 10th of September. Now, if you have a birthday around Labor Day, we usually think that Labor Day is probably a pretty active time for the tropics. It doesn't always pan out that way, but sometimes it does. So just so you know, that might be in the future down the road as we head into the next month of September. Scattered headlines, well, I'll say scattered, the headlines. Scattered showers tomorrow with locally heavy rain. Showers continue Friday, still cool in the afternoon. And as far as a weekend outlook, it will be trending drier. Maybe not perfect, but trending drier and much warmer next week. I think we've got a good chance to get into the lower 90s, if not around 90, by the time we hit Tuesday, Wednesday of next week. I hope that gives you some comfort if you're a summer fan, if you felt like you didn't get enough summer, maybe you didn't get enough beach weather, you got to check that out. Let's see here. Who else do I hear? Pumpkin time. Taj is talking about pumpkins. And I got Denmark on here. I want to say hi to Denmark. He says, hello, ready for the fall, ready for the leaves to fall. Not quite. I'm personally not quite there, but I do know that it is right around the corner, and you're absolutely right. We're looking forward to football season perhaps around here, more than maybe the fall leaves, but either way, they all work because we can all know that it's going to eventually get cooler across the board. All right, got a couple of notes from Taj, and I see Maya Lynn is on here, and I see Denmark and others, Marilyn Bell. This is the satellite radar picture right now, and as far as severe weather is concerned, it looks like it's more flooding. I don't see a whole lot of orange polygons in the mid-Atlantic or the Great Lakes. I don't even see it in the Pacific Northwest, although I see rain. So it looks like severe weather is really not the name of the game here. It could be Could be flooding. And how do I know it's flooding? Because I see a couple of these green areas down toward Myrtle Beach. So they've got flash flood warnings until 9:15 around Brunswick, Columbus, and Horry County till 9:15. So that would cover about 11,000 people. That would be how many are affected by that flash flood warning. If we zoom back out a little bit further, I believe move up a little bit, there's one just south of Kingston. Looks like areas of North Carolina from Duplin, Jones, Lenoir, and Onslow till 10 o'clock tonight. Maybe a few lesser people affected by this, about 2,300, but they're dealing with a lot of rain. And last but not least, if I zoom back out and come back up on the screen here, we'll come back to Hampton Roads. You can see that the rain, again, is trying to fill in here. So it's not altogether consistent, but you can see that there are some holes or gaps here. This, I think, will fill in, especially overnight tonight. So if you haven't had much rain, at least some of this is reaching the ground, some of it's not. There will be more opportunities as the night wears on. So there we go. Meanwhile, the rainfall typically for August is 5.88. We did not get anything, knock on wood, at least not yet. Haven't had anything measurable rain today. So we're still at the same point we were yesterday at the airport. It's 0.14 when we normally see about almost just shy of 6 inches in a given calendar year. Highs today actually hit 80. As I said, if we had hit 79 like our friends in Suffolk, we could have bragged that we had 5 days in a row, and we've only done that 2 other times. We kind of covered that, but it was 81 today in Manio and 79 in Walps. By the way, it's 7:56. Very excited about you being here. Just want to remind you as we talk about the fact that we do have some pizza that we're giving away. We're trying to do our best to give away some pizza, and that people say that's easy. No, it's not always easy to pass out pizza because people think there's some kind of maybe there must be a catch. There's no catch. We're just trying to give you the best deals that you can and get free pizza. I mentioned the deal of the week. That looks like this. It's a lunch combo. It's good between 11 and 3 tomorrow and right through Saturday, 11 to 3. So check them out. And if you're hungry, maybe you know somebody that could use this promo code, WTKR Lunch. I used it today. I got a pizza. I was very happy to have it. And it was also easy because I was able to do it online and pick it up at my convenience. All right, back to the maps. What am I talking about as far as the weather? I'm talking about temperatures hit 80 today. That's it. Where do you think we are right now? Probably not that warm. In fact, like I said, we've only hit 90 degrees now at 27, and we average about 9 in August, and we're not likely to see one until next week. The earliest I think we could hit 90 degrees in August will be the 12th and 13th. So that's Tuesday and Wednesday. But let me be very clear. I still think we're going to get a cool down by the 19th. So if you got, okay, so we're warming up around the 12th, staying hot through the 13th, 14th, maybe right through the 16th, and then as we get close to the 19th, another cool spell. So you're going to have a really hard time getting up to 9 days at 90. That's just the way I see it right now. Could that change? It could, but my instincts would say this is probably going to be a cooler than average month, given the fact that the pendulum has swung so sharply the other direction in this topsy-turvy weather that we know as Hampton Roads. We see that a lot. Temperatures right now are already in the 60s in Jackson, North Carolina, Ahoskie, Franklin, and Wakefield. Can you believe? I mean, that's pretty comfortable. I know it's been raining, so some of this is rain-cooled air, but Currituck, 77. Cape Charles is at 75 degrees. It is 7:58. I got to keep moving because we got other things to cover. Some of those are the dew points. Some of those have been coming up as of late. One thing you'll notice, we're in the low 70s. Some have dipped into the mid-60s, like Franklin. But we have moved up +6 in Hampton, +4 in Norfolk. That means it's 4 degrees or 6 degrees more humid now than it was this time yesterday. I mean, we had a dew point around 60 yesterday, but it's come up to about 71 today. So it's amazing how these things can ebb and flow, and they too can also wear you down. But it looks like they're dipping. The trend is to dip these dew points back down into the 60s across the board as we head into Monday. Some models would take it closer to 60. So if we dip that down on Monday, we can have a really comfortable sun-filled day, mostly on Monday. Monday, it's like, oh, always the best days happen on Monday. Not always, but that seems to be the trend, at least here. Dew points have come up a little bit in some of the drier areas. Pittsburgh was 49, if I'm not mistaken, last night. So it's even becoming more humid in many areas along the shore. We've got 70s here, 70 in Birmingham. That's usually a good sign of, and 75 in Myrtle Beach. So they're getting some flood concerns in parts of South Carolina and into North Carolina. Our current temperatures, 83 in Knoxville. I want to say a shout out to all those in East Tennessee, as I was there for 15 years. And our friends here in Hampton Roads, we've got 76 in Virginia Beach. I've been here just a little more than 5 months, going on 6. But you look around the country, you can find some hot air. I mean, look at Lubbock. They're at 99 presently. It's 115 in Phoenix. In fact, the 8 o'clock temperature just updated Vegas to 106. You can have that. I don't want to have 106 in my backyard. Some of you are like, bring it on. But at least they have single-digit dew points in the desert. And you've got 90 currently in Little Rock. Some of that moisture, some of that hot air will be working its way here as we head toward the time frame of next week. To future temperatures, we're going to round things up here. I want to show you the coolness that's coming. Now, this will probably show some of the coolness. See how the yellows, this is the cool air in Canada that's going to be dipping down just in time around this, I'd say the 19th. It's not quite here. It's moved definitely into Maine. Maine is certainly cool because it's a yellowish color, but there will be some cooler air as we head into the second half or third week of August, as it will ebb and flow. It's just naturally it would flow or come back, but I think certainly by the time we get to the 12th to the 16th, possibility of getting back to 90 plus is there. Thursday's planner, sun's up at 6:15. Gust of wind around 30. I can't emphasize that enough. That's going to be a big story. More rain, more wind. But this is scattered. I got to emphasize, this is not an all-day rain tomorrow, but the possibility of there being rain in the area. Temperatures, I think, will hit the magic 79. Does it count? Probably not, because we hit 80 today. But 79 is where I expect we'll be by the time we hit tomorrow afternoon, 73 at 8 o'clock. Temperature trend for the next couple of days does get warmer. Saturday, 81. Sunday, 84, Monday, 86, so that would feel more like maybe the first week of September when you feel like a high is typically around 86 degrees. Rain chances actually start to go down, not up, so I'm anticipating we'll have a drier trend for the upcoming weekend. Oh, let's see here. You can talk about, let's see, I'm trying to keep track of all the comments that are coming in. Oh, I got a nice little note from a little emoji, I think it is. Yep, I think it is. That is definitely our friend Denmark. And he's making me laugh because he's got the leaf. He's ready for the change, and maybe you are. Once we get back into the more summer pattern of next week, some of you will probably be yearning for the leaves to change, and they eventually will. But so will ragweed. Ragweed pollen will start to rise as well. All right, so rain chances going down. Let me show you some of the modeling. This is kind of where we're headed in terms of the next couple of days. The amounts can vary. Again, this is somewhat tropical, pseudo-tropical with this low off the coast. We've got about a ½ inch of rain expected around the Albemarle and inland North Carolina, and about 0.4 in Southside. So the models have really kind of come total about face, because last night it was putting over 4.5 inches for Nags Head. Now it says, no, that's about 1.7. It's a big difference, right? I mean, you look at this is a different model, but this would suggest about a ½ inch for Cape Charles, and at some point precipitation has to end. Going into Saturday from the present time does not show much measurable rain in Roanoke or Richmond. Eastern Shore looks like this. We're at 77 Bloxham. Onancock Exmoor about 77. Cape Charles 76, and if you're in the Outer Banks, there will be more clouds tomorrow. Kill Devil Hills 78. 78 for Nags Head, about 60% chance of rain in Manio at 78. About 79 Rodanthe, and 81, 82 for Ocracoke and Hatteras. Storm Prediction Center still focused on these dark green and yellow areas for isolated and scattered severe storms. The only hot spots tonight would be really far northern Minnesota, maybe some areas in parts of Iowa, Omaha, Kansas City, and Rapid City, South Dakota. You slide eastward, you'll find quiet weather here, even though it might be raining at times, where you are not expecting any storms to reach severe limits. Boy, does that change, though, tomorrow? We're talking level 3 tomorrow. That's the orange area. If I zoom in a little bit tighter there, that's Bismarck and Fargo. If you have family, or if you're in the military, you have family up here, there will be numerous severe storms likely between Bismarck, Jamestown, and Fargo, North Dakota, maybe scattered for the rest of maybe parts of Montana and South Dakota, but there could be some isolated severe storms in Green Bay, Milwaukee, and Chicago if you happen to be catching a flight tomorrow through those particular airports. But the severe weather threat Thursday is non-existent here, and on Friday that level 3 persists in Fargo and Grand Forks and areas in parts of Minnesota, South and North Dakota, as well as northern parts of Nebraska. So those are the hot spots, the colors that come by way of the Storm Prediction Center. We like to show you that as a general rule. All right, so this is should be, I think, rather interesting because I come back on camera. This is the Futurecast some of this rain that we were showing on the radar doesn't always reach the ground. This is the model saying, well, we think this will reach the ground, and it puts it right over Virginia Beach and Elizabeth City at 1 o'clock in the morning. But it gets more interesting. If I'm not mistaken, yeah, there it is. I mean, I got to take this full screen. This is 3 a.m., but I'm asleep at 3 a.m. Maybe you are. If you are asleep, this is when it may be it's reaching its fever pitch in terms of downpours in Virginia Beach or Norfolk. Would be about 3 in the morning. Based on this model, again, that's all it is. It's an interpretation of what's going to happen. We've got some heavier rain showers that where it rains, it can pour. We've got, again, some 13-mile-an-hour winds coming out of northeast. This would be about 7 a.m. Tomorrow morning, your drive into work might be a little challenging if you have to deal with bigger puddles from the overnight rain, and that's still on the table. Notice the winds are still busy at noon tomorrow. The rain might let up in your neighborhood, and maybe it doesn't. We still have some scattered rain showers, and even into Friday, it's the same situation. Northeast wind prevails. The winds are rotating around that low counterclockwise, and we've got showers in Elizabeth City, Exmoor, and Williamsburg, just to name a few. So that's kind of where we are. Here's your forecast. 70 degrees for an overnight low in the south side, peninsula 69, 70 in North Carolina, and low temperatures should be in the upper 60s, mainly west. So we're talking about Williamsburg and Wakefield and Conway and Windsor and Ahoskie, everywhere, and even Gloucester, all in the 60s, while most of us, at least along the coast, are still hovering around 70 degrees for low temperatures. As we take another look at the afternoon, I think we're heading toward the upper 70s to near 80. It's not too hot, but definitely keep the umbrella within reach. Highs tomorrow 77 in Gloucester, Hampton, Duck, and Windsor, about 76 for Virginia Beach, Cape Charles, 79 Norfolk, and 76 for Gatesville, and Murfreesboro, about 75 degrees. Here's your first warning, WTKR News 370 forecast. So 60, 40, 30, 20. We're going down. Our precipitation chances are going down, but our temperatures are going up. So you can see we're just spotty here, spotty here, spotty here, and maybe a few more storms on Wednesday of next week. But either way, it is nice to see that there is a change. We're not going to stay parked at 79 forever in perpetuity. So good news is that's going to change, as you can see here. Grace wanted to end with some happy shots. It's now 8:07. The first Landing State Park picture from Mike, who shared this. This was from Monday's sunrise. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, you got to love these great happy shots. And this one's just on fire. I love this. This comes by way of VB Sunrise, maybe more of a tourist location or a company that does post some great pictures from Virginia Beach. But this was the sunrise on Tuesday. Maybe a little bit of filter in there, perhaps. What do you think? But I love this one from William Wood. Tuesday's sunrise from Buckrow Beach. Very, very pretty, and also very, very nice to see that indeed. Just a reminder, as I come back on camera, we're going to talk about the forecast again, so you didn't, in case you missed it. But I'd like to end on those happy shots. But just know we are going to get back to hotter weather. Summer is not gone forever. It's just been on vacation for the last 6 or 7 days, but it will eventually come back. Just a reminder, I love Thursdays for many reasons, because it's almost Friday, but it's also we're giving away free pizza. And we're talking about these are the locations where you can redeem those pizza certificates, whether it be pizza for a year or pizza individual pies that we're going to be giving away 10 winners tomorrow. Total of 11 winners tomorrow, I believe. But we've got 3 in Virginia Beach, 2 in one, soon to be Chesapeake. We got one there down to South Battlefield. That will be likely available by September. But there is the wild 757 weather. We've got the 757 phone numbers for you on the screen if you want to participate, and call them anytime you wish. We just want you to check out the lunch combo, save yourself some money using the WTKR lunch promo code. But we're giving away this certificate again tomorrow. The grand prize winner is yet to be announced, and it is randomized. I do not have a control of how that works out, but I do know the sales team does put it, and it is randomly selected. So thank you so much for joining us today. I'm very excited about what we're doing here. We are learning, we're practicing, we're doing some fun things here and experimenting. So I appreciate it as you experiment with this platform. One of the things I know we will likely do is try to bring in a guest. I can't tell you who that guest is just yet. We're still working on all the details, but I will say we will be doing something and making a big announcement, hopefully, in the days or weeks to come. So stay with us. I appreciate your patience in the whole process. So just want to say reset. Thank you for coming here, guys, tonight. Appreciate it. And remember, as we try and take care of our neighborhood and take care of our neighbors, just know that every day, just know that whether it doesn't matter if the weather is sunny Or if it's serious, every day is a gift. We'll see you here and make the most of it in your neighborhood. We'll see you here tomorrow with the pizza.